let's get it to it. Let's get it started in here because it's episode 11 of the Goose Egg Gambling Podcast.
Presented by DraftKings. Love hearing that. It's music to my ears.
Mm-hmm. I'm your host, Matt, a.k.a. Mr. He Ain't Hot No More, unfortunately. And I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Jerrod, a.k.a. the president of the Carolina Panthers fan club.
Nope, not anymore. I've done a 180 on them.
You think they're out? You think they're done?
I don't. I'm not a... People like Cam Newton. He had a good game. 2 touchdowns. Was it 2 carries, 2 touchdowns?
No, he threw his first run was a touchdown, and his first pass was a touchdown.
Oh, okay. I'm still out on Cam. He played really well with the Patriots last year, like right away for like the first 4 weeks, and then just nothing.
But maybe he's healthy now for the first time in forever. He hasn't been healthy in 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, there's a reason why the Patriots cut him.
I think that was just because he wasn't vaccinated.
That could be that.
And because Mac Jones has proven to be the guy.
Yeah. Real quick, do you think Patriots are a Super Bowl contender?
Let's get into that in a second because that was literally the first game I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
First, just want to do a quick weekly update. As I mentioned in the intro, guys, I'm not hot anymore. This weekend was brutal.
You're built the same.
I am built the same as everybody else. I came crashing back down to earth. Who would have thought after a week of puffing my chest and saying I'm the best ever that it would reverse? I mean, who could have possibly seen that coming?
It happens to everybody. I'm currently like a middle cold hand right now, but I think I'm about to burst through the ice.
You got some good ones. You got some good ones for this week?
I got some devious picks here.
Some devious picks and some devious licks. All right, well, shoot, let's not beat around the bush. Let's get right into it. First and foremost, speaking of the Patriots, you're going to the Patriots Falcons game.
Yep, in less than 24 hours. Well, 24 hours will be there, but yeah, I'm very excited for this game.
Rematch of the infamous 28-3 Super Bowl.
Yep.
Or is Atlanta just never going to live that down? Like whenever anyone talks about the Falcons, the first things they say is 28-3.
I mean, they shouldn't live that down. That was pathetic. That was bad coaching.
I mean, who's left in that organization though that was a part of that? Like Matt Ryan. That's it.
Arthur Blank.
What did the owner have to do with it?
I don't know.
I think at some point we got to let the Falcons off the hook. Like Matt Ryan also played a really good game, and that wasn't Matt Ryan's fault that they blew that. Like,
and then Julio had a terrific game that game.
I think I saw recently that Matt Ryan is in the top 4 of QBR in the Super Bowl, and it was from that game. Top 4 meaning I think he was 4th.
Right? Yeah, that's how it always goes. He's like a top 6 player. Also, he's number 6.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Matt Ryan played a good game. That was more the defense and Shanahan's play calling, and just the Patriots played a perfect second half in the offensively. So I feel like at some point we got to let that go.
I'm not. You can't live that down. Until Matt Ryan retires, you can't live that down.
Matt Ryan's he's gonna retire. He's gonna end up. He probably won't win a Super Bowl if he stays in Atlanta, but I still think he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. You don't think Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer? He's an MVP.
Yeah, but just because you win MVP doesn't mean you should be in the Hall of Fame.
I disagree. I think if you're an MVP...
You think Sean Alexander should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
No.
He was a Madden cover athlete.
But his offensive line was freakishly good. He had 2 Hall of Famers on that offensive line. Walter Jones and Steve Hutchinson.
Okay, that's true.
What, Priest Holmes? Do you think he should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I think they should let more people in the Hall of Fame than they currently do.
No, it's way too many now.
How many get in per year now? 5?
53? No, it's
I was gonna say.
No, it's more than that. It's 9 or 12, I think.
Yeah, just let them all in.
No, baseball does it right with sometimes they can put anybody in the Hall of Fame.
Baseball doesn't do anything right.
No, I like that though. It should be hard to get in the Hall of Fame. Curtis Martin should not be in the Hall of Fame. I don't like that he's in it.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, so don't let anybody in.
Not obviously not anybody, but I think there's so many people from the way past that aren't in that should be in, and they just don't get in because every year there's a new influx of talent.
I agree. Yeah, they have some alumni Hall of Famers or whatever from back in the 60s and 50s. Mm-hmm. I like that. Jerry Kramer is one of those types. He was great with the Packers in the 60s.
Yeah.
Jim Marshall's still not in the Hall of Fame. He was the NFL Iron Man for...
That's a little shocking to me.
He had over 200 career starts. He played defensive line. Still not in the Hall of Fame.
That's what I'm saying, though. Because every year there's a new influx of talent, everyone always likes what's shiny and new, and those old guys kind of get left behind, which is why I think they should add 1 or 2 more spots.
That ceremony's going to get long. That's a lot of speeches.
You don't have to watch it. I've never once watched the Hall of Fame ceremony. Everyone complains how long it is. Why would you watch it then?
Even Peyton Manning's I didn't even watch. I didn't even care.
I watched his. I thought that was kind of cool.
Did you tear up?
No. I don't get emotion. He was just talking about like moving the game of football forward. My relationship with the game of football ended in high school. So like now it's just something I bet on and make a living off talking about. So.
Yeah. And just swimming in money, swimming in cash.
And not right now. I'm actually down horrendously, but we're fixing that with Patriots Falcons. You're going this game right now. The line is 7 points, again, presented by DraftKings, our sponsor. The Patriots money line is minus 275. The Falcons is plus 220. Over under is 47. This game is interesting to me because the Patriots are kind of the hot team right now that everyone's talking about.
Yep.
Do you think the Patriots are for real?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Like a Super Bowl contender? Like
I think at least
for real?
one playoff win. Definitely.
I would agree with that. Rich Eisen had a really hot take that a lot of people are talking about. He said that over the past 4 games, Mac Jones has run this offense just as good, if not better, than Tom Brady ever did throughout like a 4-game stretch. And I thought that was a very interesting take. He's getting a lot of heat for it, but I love Rich Eisen. I think Rich Eisen's one of my top 3 favorite like sports commentators.
So he's number 3?
I like him, Charles Barkley, and
Say it.
Colin Cowherd.
God damn it.
It mixes up between those 3. I'd throw Shannon Sharp in there as well.
Mac Jones is like I can't do it. Colin Cowherd. Mac Jones is like a Jeep. He's dependable. He's reliable.
So a lot of people have 401ks, right? that's my best Colin Cowherd impression I can do right now. So a lot of people are talking about Mac Jones right now. He's probably the favorite for Rookie of the Year. What's crazy is a stat that I saw in this 4-game winning streak, the Patriots have outscored their opponents 150-50.
Just shit pounding fools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
shit pounding fools.
Yeah. And Belichick is like, I think Belichick likes having a lot of, I mean, I don't know if I can name 5 players on the Patriots, to be honest.
Not anymore, because they got rid of Gilmore earlier this year. I don't know any of their receivers besides Jacoby Myers, and that's just because of that one stat or whatever about how he had the most receptions without a touchdown.
Mark Andrews, Mac Jones. They still have N'Keal Harry.
No, I think they have him because he demanded a trade. I just don't think they found one for him. So I think he just kind of is chilling.
I think he'd be great when he came out of college. N'Keal.
One of the Patriots ever drafted a good receiver besides Edelman in the 7th.
Yeah, they really haven't. They always pluck from free agency or trade.
They can't even do that right. They had Brandon Cooks for that 1 year and they had to trade him because that wasn't working.
He was okay. Yeah, but Brandon Cooks is kind of an odd duck with.
He really is. He's
big up and down guy.
I think he's been on like 5 teams before the age of 26, which is insane.
Yeah, that's a lot. Anyway, this is my freest cheese of the week. Patriots -7.
See, I was going to ask your opinion on this because I have no idea what to do. I really want to take the Falcons because I think 7 points is too much. I think the Patriots stock is as high as it's going to be right now. But the Falcons are one of those few teams that I have the rule that I will never bet on because they're just the most unpredictable team in football. They either hang with the competition really well and blow it, or they just come out like they did last week and lose like 43-3 to the Cowboys.
Yeah, they lost by 40 points.
Yeah, it's absurd.
You don't really hear that much. So they'll be back against the wall, coming back from a
and plus,
week.
The Thursday night games we've seen, the underdog teams usually have the advantage. And just because of the shorter week, the Patriots are coming to Atlanta. So I really want to take the Falcons +7. It's just breaking that rule of betting on the Falcons. And I don't know if I think the Patriots are good. I don't think they're that great.
Yeah.
I think their stock is at an all-time high right now. So this is going to be a game time decision for me. The Patriots are also 4-0 against the spread in the last 4. Obviously, like that stat 150-50. But they're also only 6-4 against the spread total this season. So they've only just gotten hot against the spread now. Yeah. They're very much trending upwards. This is going to be a big test. It's going to be the first time they've been on national television since that Tom Brady game, and nobody even really cared about the Patriots in that Tom Brady-Belichick rematch. They only really care about
and they played the Bucs tough that game too, the Patriots.
They probably played them tougher than anyone this year that didn't beat them.
Yeah.
So right now I'm leaning Falcons +7. It's going to be a game time decision for me. 7 points is a lot to give the Patriots. I don't think they're that good of a team, but if they can go out and prove me wrong and win this game by a blowout, I might be all over the Patriots bandwagon.
Yeah, definitely AFC East division winners if they win this game handily and everything like that.
Even with the Buffalo Bills in that division, you think it's definite?
I think they have.
They played the Bills yet? I think they did early, like one game early in the season.
They can definitely beat the Bills. I think that's very doable.
They have the formula to do it. Just keep their offense on the field, the long drives. It's the same thing that Tom Brady, I think Cam Newton, we can all admit now, is not a fit in that system. It was a fun little experiment, didn't work. That Josh McDaniels' offense is just perfectly suited for Mac Jones.
And I just think the Bills are going to slow down. Like, you can't be passing the ball that much and have almost zero run game.
I'd agree.
Like, and I mean, bit them last year. I mean, they got down quick, and then they have to pass, so you don't even have to play the run.
Yeah.
So I just think the Bills are ready for a slowdown.
Well, that's just what Belichick does so well is he finds your weakness, pits it against you, takes away your strength, forces you to play to your weaknesses.
Yeah.
And he's just always been the master of that. It's like the art of war kind of thing. So
wow.
Yeah.
It's good literature.
Thank you. I try. But
have you read it?
I have no. Are you kidding me?
How many pages?
I haven't read a single page of it.
Oh.
I watched a Belichick interview where he said that was his biggest inspiration in football is the art of war.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Taking words directly out of Belichick's mouth there.
Gotcha.
Nothing of my own. So yeah, I think this is the biggest game of the Patriots season so far to just kind of prove in terms of proving to the world
on a national
what they
stage.
Are. Yep. So I'm excited for you. That'll be a fun game for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I hope you have a good time.
I'm excited for the cheap concessions there. I always hear they have the cheap hot dogs and the sodas.
That stadium I think is really cool too.
Yep. So hopefully the roof's open.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. It'll be a nice warm weather adventure.
I'll be back here all tan.
from the night roof being open.
That moon is fucking bright.
You're gonna be moon burnt.
Yeah, I got moon burn.
All right. Well, speaking of getting burnt, I have a bet for this next game that I think I'm gonna get burned on, but I'm still gonna roll with it just because I need some sort of win, and something in my gut tells me that this is gonna happen. Green Bay Packers versus the Minnesota Vikings. Earlier today, I told you I was all over the Green Bay Packers. I've shifted my tone completely.
Really?
I'm taking the Vikings money line in this game.
Thank you. It feels good, doesn't it?
No, it feels disgusting. It feels the opposite of good. It feels completely wrong.
Why?
I came into this game fully expecting to take the Packers -2. I'm like, oh, that just seems like a gimme. But the more I've read, the more I've thought about it, the more I just feel like regardless of what happens, the Vikings and Packers will split this series. They kind of always do.
Yeah.
In the last 13, they're 6-6-1 in this series, which is crazy.
Yeah, dead even.
And I feel like if they are going to win one, this seems the right one to win.
Oh,
the Packers win against the Seahawks was very costly. They lost Aaron Jones, they lost their linebacker Whitney Merciless, and they lost Rashawn Gary. Those are three pretty big losses.
And the Vikings are gaining people on defense.
They are. They're having a lot of people come back from the COVID list. They had that big win against the Chargers, and now they're going to get reinforcements.
At home.
It's at home. The Packers have had an incredibly emotional month. That big Thursday night win, the loss of the Chiefs, the Aaron Rodgers drama. Then the Seahawks are kind of a rival of theirs, and they beat them at home in a big defensive game. I feel like they're just coming off a lot of emotions, and it's so hard to keep that emotional momentum going in an upward direction, especially against a Vikings team that's going to be at home playing with confidence.
Yeah, definitely. The win will be out their back. Not literally, but
it's in a dome.
Yeah, but maybe they'll open the doors.
Yeah, and then Zimmer, when I thought about it, Zimmer has probably faced Rodgers. I don't know if this is an exact stat. I'm guessing it's true, but Zimmer's probably faced Rodgers more than any other coach in the league right now.
I believe that.
I would guess so, right?
I would believe that because Zimmer's been coaching since 2014. And
yeah,
two times a year.
Twice a year, yeah.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't doubt that one bit.
Yeah, I wish I actually looked up the stats so I could say it definitively, but I'm just going to roll with that.
Top 3, so number 3.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I feel weird doing it, but I feel pretty, but at the same time, I feel pretty good taking Vikings plus 105.
I think Patrick Peterson coming back this week is extremely underrated.
Yeah.
Nobody's really talking about that much.
Yeah, if anything, just from a pure leadership communication standpoint, he's a veteran.
And I'll be on Devontae all game. Mm-hmm. That's probably the best.
I don't know how physically dominant Patrick Peterson is these days. I haven't watched a lot of Vikings defense, admittedly. So
think about when you watch Viking games, you don't really see him on the field. And whenever that happens with a cornerback, that's a good thing because that means they're not throwing to his way.
That's true. Yeah.
So you never really see 7, which is a good thing.
Is there I feel like there's not a more thankless position in all sports than cornerback. A great cornerback never gets noticed unless it's like Jalen Ramsey and they start talking.
I would say long snapper.
A great long snapper, that's true. Or even a great punter. But punters will get the credit when they hit the great punt.
But you only know a long snapper's name if they fuck up.
That's true. Or a holder.
Oh, yeah.
Holder's rough. And holder's really important too.
Thus punters, mostly.
Just special teams in general. Such an underrated aspect of the game. But are you rolling with your Vikings on this one?
You
showed me that your little graph. You're at the place of gaining hope again. The Vikings just have a circular motion of sadness to gaining hope to back to sadness.
Yep. So I'm kind of bottom left corner of that. I'm gaining hope. I want to crack open the purple Kool-Aid If they win
get a
this
skull
game,
chant out.
yeah, I'll skull chant in the airport. No, I won't do that.
The skull chant is so dorky. I'm sorry. I get it's cool like when you're doing it with a group of people, but like it's cool in the stadium and that's it. When there's people like at a bar going like skull, it's like and there's like 5 of you at a table. That's the dorkiest shit in the world.
I may or may not be one of those people.
You hit a skull chant at the bar?
Yeah, I mean, the mimosas get flowing and I start skulling a little bit,
Get to skulling.
Yeah, get to skull. And yeah, it is lame because like they didn't invent the skull chant.
It came from like a soccer team,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Like
it's so cool. It fits that like I will say the Vikings have like one of the better branding of the entire NFL. I like their whole like how the stadium is like shaped like a ship.
Mm-hmm.
I like their jerseys. I like kind of their whole like aesthetic.
Yeah.
I will give the Vikings. That's the one piece of credit I will always give the Vikings is they have very good branding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a ton of fun to go to the games. Mm-hmm. The food's shit inside, but other than that, it's great.
And the skull chant is dorky. I will stand by that. It's just a bunch of grown ass people.
Yeah, you
skull.
Yeah, you smell their armpits when they lift up their arms. Just beer breath and armpit sweat.
Beer breath and Old Spice.
Yeah, that's all you smell. It's tough, especially in the early games of the year when it's sunny out. They get them pits.
The sun is shining.
Those pits get baked in. The sweat. It's not fun.
Oh my God. That's brutal.
Yeah. So I
hopefully everyone, you got to get downwind in that stadium.
Yeah, you're just like, open the fucking doors. It's so smelly in here. God damn.
But you're rolling with the Vikings this week.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Vikes. Yeah. Well, I don't know. What am I going to do? Sometimes with these games, I bet on the Packers. Okay, it's the Vikings.
As an emotional hedging type of thing.
Kind of lick my wounds and bet on the other team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might
2 points is weird. It's very rare you see 2 points as a spread in the NFL.
Yeah, you might. I don't know. I'll probably just stay away from this game.
Yeah.
Do you have an over-under up there or no?
Yeah, 49.5.
No. Well, yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't know what I believe anymore. I was so confident 2 weeks ago with the hot streak, and now I'm just about to get to the point of like questioning everything.
Right. And if the Vikings are going to win this game, they're going to have to run the ball with Dalvin
and Dalvin usually does good against the Packers.
He does, yeah. And they're going to be running clock. That'll probably be their game plan because the Packers defense does not have the best rush defense either. So
no, not at all.
So they're definitely going to be running the ball at least 25 times in the game.
Yeah, I think it'll be I think I'd lean the under as well, especially because Rodgers didn't look that great. I think he's still coming back to finding chemistry with the guys around him and stuff like that. It's obviously an indoor game. I think the weather played some sort of an aspect in Rodgers' poor game last week.
Yeah, and it was like he was approved Saturday to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, so I'd lean the under as well. 49.5.
That's a lot of points.
I'm thinking it's like a 17-20 game, but I'm thinking the Vikings pull off the upset.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Jerrod. The game I'm most excited about this weekend, though, and I guess most fans without an allegiance are excited about, is Cowboys Chiefs.
I like your language there.
Thank you. So the podcast with the best vernacular in the league. We've talked about that early on. I don't think we've brought it up in a while, but our vocabulary is unmatched in the sports gambling podcast.
It's dialed.
It is. We have the best linguistics out there. So yeah, Cowboys Chiefs is going to be a really fascinating game. Somehow, some way, the Kansas City Chiefs are still favored, -2.5. I think everyone kind of saw last week as their big, like, we're back party, their big revenge game. It's also in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Which is something.
I think the Raiders are kind of frauds too.
I agree. I think the Chiefs, I think that was a fluke last week. I think the Raiders are just finally starting to fall apart with everything they've had to deal with this season.
Yep.
I almost tweeted it out. I decided that regardless of what happens on the field, Derek Carr should be MVP this season just because of everything he's had to put up with, like in press conferences. For that reason alone, not because of his play.
We'll give him the press conference MVP award.
Yeah, I don't know, like the PR award or something like that. There should be something like that because poor Derek Carr has to go answer for all of these things that he had nothing to do with.
That is true.
And he's done it like in the perfect way, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Like, yeah, he hasn't really ruffled any feathers at all.
Yeah, I think he is always on the right side of things.
PR MVP.
Yeah, PR VP. So Derek Carr is the official winner of the first ever Goose Egg Gambling PRVP award. So congratulations, Derek. Come on the podcast and accept your award anytime. We know how good you are on a mic, so you're probably great on a podcast.
And then we like ask him questions. He's like, well, I'm just taking one game at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, God, you're fucking good, dude.
How do you do it? How do those quarterbacks must be so good at like arguing with their wives just because they know like the politically correct answers to say at all times?
It's like, well, I just took the trash out this morning, and
just focus on every chore. Just do the little things right.
Yeah.
Focus on what you can control.
Whatever's best for the team. I mean, family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just imagining a quarterback getting asked the "What are we?" question when he's dating a girl. It'd be so funny to me.
That'll be a future TikTok for you.
Yeah, I actually might do that. That was fun. So, anyways, Cowboys Chiefs, 2.5 spread. Chiefs are favored. The over/under is 56.5, which is giant. But I think it's an appropriate 56.5 because I think everyone's expecting this to be a shootout. Yep. But those are weirdly usually the games that aren't shootouts. Whenever you expect a shootout, it feels like it somehow trends the other way.
All right. I want to time travel in your brain a little bit.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
They're closed.
Okay. Thank you. Do you remember a little game about 3 years ago? It was Chiefs-Rams on a Monday night.
I remember that game very well. I stayed up the entire night watching it and then watching like the entire replay that night. I thought it was so cool.
All right. Now open your eyes. That's going to be that kind of game with this.
You think?
Yes.
I think it's going to be a lot of fire. So you think the over?
I'm thinking they both score 40 points.
You think that's a lot of the predictions I was seeing was like 43-40 and stuff like that.
I think this could be an insanely highly scored game. So that's my fuck it we ball this week, over 56.5.
That's a big over, and that is probably a fuck we ball. But if teams are in the 40, that will obviously pretty easily hit.
Yes.
I don't hate that, especially considering Dallas is 8-1 against the spread this year. Or no, I just think the over. Nah, never mind. But yeah, Dallas at 8-1 against the spread, and 3-0 is underdog. So I'm actually leaning Dallas 2.5, and I might do the Dallas money line at plus 120. I think the Cowboys are better than the Chiefs at every single position except for quarterback and coach. Albeit, those are the two probably most important things by far. But I think all around the Cowboys are just a much better team. I think people, like we said, every week, people are still slightly overvaluing the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I just think the Cowboys have a lot more talent overall spread out across that team.
I think the Chiefs are about to trend upward.
You think they're about to hit their stride?
They were at the pits of hell, and I think they're going to kind of climb out of that.
See, I watched the entire Raiders-Chiefs game. I didn't think it was that impressive a game by the Chiefs. The Raiders had a lot of like costly fumbles.
That's true.
And they just did not play well at all.
That Deshaun Jackson fumble.
I literally had that one written down.
Oh my God.
They had defensive backs were out of position constantly.
Yeah.
I think that was way more the Chiefs just getting lucky.
Yeah.
But sometimes all it takes is that just to get your confidence back.
Like kind of the get right game.
Yeah. So I could be wrong. The Chiefs could we're hitting that time of year where teams are going to start to trend upwards, like the good teams.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be that for the Chiefs, but I don't know. I just feel like the Cowboys are a better team. I feel like I'm not saying Jerry has any influence on the team whatsoever, but he's probably had this game circled on the calendar for a while just because you're playing against like the class of the NFL in the Chiefs.
Yeah. Do you think, I think Dak's more clutch than Mahomes too.
I don't know. Mahomes has come back so often.
Mm.
He did in a Super Bowl. He came back like down 10 with like 3 minutes to go.
That is true. But in that Super Bowl, Garoppolo was they were off with that Emmanuel Sanders throw at the end of that Super Bowl.
How crazy would that have been if he hit that throw? The entire narrative has changed. Mahomes is probably the athlete under the most pressure to win a Super Bowl. I don't even know who it is right now. Like what athlete is under the most, who hasn't won a championship, who's under the most pressure to win one? Probably Lamar Jackson, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, there really isn't anybody.
Yeah, there's always that like LeBron figure who like is under the most pressure. They haven't done it. Like Peyton Manning was
a huge one.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't know who it would be like. Maybe like It was Giannis until recently, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like Damian Lillard or someone right now.
I was thinking Lillard too, but I don't think Lillard has enough talent around him.
Yeah,
CJ McCollum's good. Nurkic is up and down all the time.
Maybe Melo.
Melo. No, not Melo.
Oh, yeah, especially because they're going to win one this year, so it's not even a big deal.
Yeah, so anyway.
a lot of getting off track today, but I kind of like it. So anyways, yeah, I'm taking Cowboys plus 2.5, and I'm going to live bet the money line, I think, depending on that first drive or so. I'm going to see how things look for the Cowboys. Because I feel pretty good that the Cowboys can win that game. Oh,
yeah. And there's another thing. The Cowboys can run the ball much better than the Chiefs can.
The Chiefs don't even try anymore. They get down on the goal line. They literally stay in shotgun. I mean, if you have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
And they do a little shuffle pass.
Yeah. It makes
read special.
It makes sense. But at some point you have to run the ball, right? Or is that an old philosophy? Is that just something my dad says?
No, you need to be able to run the ball. Like in playoff time, you need to be able to run the ball. Always.
I mean, the Chiefs have made it to the Super Bowl without being able to do it.
Yeah, but I mean, look at that Bucks Super Bowl with them last year. I mean, Fournette had a great game with the Bucks. Couldn't stop that.
Maybe there's more than one way to win in the league or something.
And then the Bucks just totally shut down their pass offense, and they were fucked in that Super Bowl.
That is true. But the Chiefs did prove in this Raiders game that they can be patient and take the small dink and dunks and then go deep.
You can just tell Mahomes always just wants to fucking launch.
He does. He's literally me playing Madden. Like he'll run the slants because they're given to him, but he just hates it.
Mahomes the type of guy to always run 4 verticals in Madden.
Exactly. So yeah, it's gonna be an exciting game. But yeah, Cowboys plus 2.5. Over under. I think I would take the over as well. 56 is not that. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
but it's not. If the game is gonna be what we think it's gonna be,
it's gonna be more fun to cheer for the over than the under in this game.
It's never fun to cheer for the under. I did it last week with that Sunday night game, and
just sweating the whole time.
Yeah, every time there's a first down, you just get like a little deflated on both sides. That's not fun to cheer for.
Yeah, but if you get like a red zone turnover and you got the under, that is awesome.
Pretty fun. That is pretty fun.
Awesome.
That is pretty fun. But besides that one situation, it's never fun. It's never fun to cheer for the under. Yeah. I hate defensive football.
Plus, more punts, the better for the under.
Yeah, it's not fun to cheer for punts. I have some friends who are like big defensive football fans, and they always like the Rams Patriots Super Bowl a few years ago. My friend was like texting me like, "This is such a great game." I'm like, "No, it isn't."
Yeah, my brother said the same thing.
It's 3-0. This sucks.
It was too much punts. And
I was also cheering for the Rams. My dad's a big Rams fan, so I drove home to watch the game with him, and so I think the mood was a little soured by that.
Yeah, that is sour. I think there's a big difference between a bad offensive game and a great defensive game. Like you can tell when an offense is just completely shit and the defense isn't doing much.
Yeah, that's true.
And that sucks. But when you see a great defense just shut down teams and they're all over the ball every play, that's a great game. There's a fine line between.
I would agree with that. If there's just like good coverage and like good pressure, that's more fun than like dropped passes and miscommunications.
Yeah, and then you got like a third string quarterback. It's just but like those Ravens Steelers games, like with Terrell Suggs, Roethlisberger, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed,
those are fun,
and they were very low scoring. They wouldn't score more than 35 points, and that's a great example of like great defensive game.
It is possible,
definitely. Yeah. There's just a fine line between that.
Yep, I agree. Did you have any other games? I have just a few other quick ones I want to touch on. But
Colts +7 versus Bills. I think that's too high of a.
I would agree. I still think the Colts are trending upwards. I'm excited to start watching their midseason Hard Knocks, which is starting soon.
Yeah, it's like All or Nothing on Amazon.
Is it?
Yeah, it'll just be the same thing.
Oh.
Also, Hard Knocks kind of treaded downwards.
Yeah,
in recent years.
I would agree. I don't know why that is. Maybe just the NFL got too much like control over what's that, and probably teams just don't like giving all that access now. So,
but like back in the day with like the Jets, even the Browns fairly recently was great.
The Chad Johnson one on the Dolphins was good when he got arrested. I thought that was really interesting. Do you remember that?
I didn't know the Dolphins were on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, it was Chad Johnson was on the team for like a month, but he got arrested for headbutting his fiance. I'm not saying that's like exciting, but it was like interesting to watch it was interesting to watch like the same way The Bachelor is interesting to watch.
Right. Yeah.
It's a dumpster fire a bit.
Yeah, and then I always forget the Falcons were on Hard Knocks years ago.
That's right. Yeah, good for them.
What an anticlimactic Hard Knocks.
Yeah, for real. All right. I don't hate that. I think the Colts are trending upwards. I also think the Bills are kind of starting to trend downwards a little bit.
It's just an inflated spread. I don't know. I just think the Colts +7. It might be bait, but I'll take it.
What do you think of Lions +11 versus the Browns?
So I think Jared Goff is day to day right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
But does that matter?
I think so. I still think Jared Goff's a good quarterback.
Oh, God.
I will die on the hill that Jared Goff is a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but he's a Super Bowl quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
No, he's a system quarterback.
Why is system quarterback or system player such a bad thing in sports?
Because they can't transition to another team and they can't be good. It's one thing if you're with that same team your entire career, but once you leave that team and get exposed, then you're just a system quarterback.
I have a counter argument to that. I think that Kawhi Leonard is the best system player in all of sports, and he's transitioned from different teams and he's done well.
Yeah, there's a difference.
In basketball and football?
Well, no, there's a difference. I mean, he is talented and a great system player. You can be both. You can fit, like Lamar Jackson. He fits the Ravens system perfectly. And I think if he goes any other
But
team,
is he a system player, though?
Lamar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say so. But I think if he goes to any other team, he's just that talented.
Yeah.
The offense will
Figure it out.
around him.
But I think that makes him not a system. What is a system player then?
Jared Goff. Like once they leave their team that they were successful with, and then
it doesn't translate.
It doesn't translate, yes.
So then Lamar wouldn't be a system player if he were to go to another team and succeed.
But he's got the talent. He's so talented that they.
So he's not a system quarterback.
No, he's both. He's a Kawhi Leonard.
Okay, I think I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of a dumb argument.
little bit. kind of a weak word. It's a very dumb argument.
It's like I'm listening to Colin Cowherd right now.
Oh, if only. We'd have a better analogy if that was the case. All right, so yeah, I kind of like Lions plus 11. I guess I'd have to see the Jared Goff health situation, because if it's Jared Goff is healthy, I'm hammering that 100%.
Was it? All right, hold on.
Against the Browns, because Baker is day-to-day as well.
Hey, Siri, what's the Lions backup quarterback?
Siri never works. That's a bold.
David Blau.
He's got experience. He's played on Thanksgiving games before.
There's a lot of shitty Lions players that have experience on Thanksgiving.
That's true. Pretty much the entire team's history.
I love this Lions Thanksgiving game because like half the stands are filled.
It's so sad.
And they're just sitting there, and they always have some guy with a turkey on his head, and they're just getting pounded.
How do grown men still go to Lions games and dress like fucking assholes and not expect to be put on camera when their team's getting robbed?
Because tickets are cheap.
I guess it's less dorky than doing the fucking skull chant.
Going to the Lions Thanksgiving game?
Yeah. Which one's work? I guess you at least get a concert when you go to the Lions Thanksgiving game.
Yeah, you can see
Creed.
You can see Andy Grammer.
Yeah.
It's always like a B-list singer too.
Well, yeah, because no one wants to go on Thanksgiving and perform in Detroit. They want to be with their families. It's people who can't afford to say no to like an opportunity that big.
He's just on the phone. I gotta go to Detroit on Thanksgiving for a halftime show. 15 minutes.
So you're saying the Dallas one already got booked? I can't go to the Dallas.
Yeah, right.
I can't go to the Dallas.
It's much warmer
game.
down there.
Yeah. Well, that'll be exciting for next Thanksgiving. Just alienating all of Detroit right now.
Sorry, Detroit.
Yeah. I'm really sorry for you too. Another game I really like, Bengals -1 versus Raiders. Like I said, I think the wheels are just going to start falling off in Vegas pretty soon here.
Yeah, they're kind of both trending downwards, but yeah, I would take Bengals.
-1. We're basically just picking the money line at that point.
And I think the Bengals are coming off a bye week too.
They are. So. And they've come off 2 pretty bad losses, so you got to imagine they're pretty focused.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably my free cheese of the week, honestly.
And I like Joe Burrow a lot more. Derek Carr.
The PRVP?
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll have a great press conference afterwards.
He will. He'll take full responsiresponsibility for it and say all the right things.
Like, my guy.
My guy. That's how it should be done right there. Showing your kids. Kids, come watch this.
This is how a professional acts.
And then the last one I have before we have our special guest on is 49ers -6 versus the Jags. I think the Niners are about to heat up.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. The Niners are so tough. I don't know what to do with them. I think Shanahan's a good coach one week, and then the next week he just shits the bed.
I think it always just depends on their injuries. They always just have some injury. Like Garoppolo's either hurt or Bosa or Kittle. They for some reason, they just can't keep their guys healthy. And when they do have everyone, they're really good. Like when Shanahan has Garoppolo and Garoppolo's healthy, they're a really good team.
Yeah.
His record is really good with Garoppolo.
They can be a Super Bowl team. They've proven it.
Yeah, they have a system quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, that is a system quarterback.
But yeah, so I like that. Especially against the Jaguars. I just think Shanahan's a better coach.
Jacksonville?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
I can look right now. Really quick. It is in Jacksonville, yep.
Okay. Is it a noon game?
It is noon game.
Okay.
West Coast team traveling to the East Coast.
That does matter. That is a thing.
Against the Jaguars, is it?
Yeah. Let's see. What time would it be in San Francisco at noon?
It'd be 10.
10.
Or no, it's Eastern, so it'd be... No, yeah,
it'd be a 3 hour. It's 4 hour. That'd be a 4 hour difference, wouldn't it?
It would be, and they're coming off a short week.
Yeah, I would take Jags +6.
Ooh, okay. Big Urban Meyer believer.
They'd be jet lagged all hell.
That's probably true. All right, well, that's all the games I had listed. I don't know if you had any more.
That's all I had.
There.
Yep.
All right, well, stay tuned, guys. We're going to go grab a special guest real quick from downstairs. You won't want to miss it. Assuming we can find someone. Hey, football fans, a.k.a. Jerrod, and everyone who's listening.
Yes.
Who's ready to score some free bets?
Who isn't? That's the better question.
That is the better question. Who doesn't want a free bet? Well, if you are one of the people who does, I've got some great news for you because this weekend with DraftKings, when you bet on any NFL game with the DraftKings Sportsbook, which official sports betting partner of the NFL and this podcast, new customers who bet $1 on either team to score can win $100 in free bets.
Awesome.
Amazing. Incredible. Teams are going to score. It's the NFL. These offensive coordinators know what they're doing.
They're all, I know a little Spanish. En fuego.
There it is. Ole, ole, ole. So when a team scores, you score. If a sportsbook isn't available, and if you're in a state where it's not legal yet, that's no worries. You're not left empty-handed. You can do daily fantasy football and score that way.
That's what I'm doing. I'm 2-8 in my league right now. I am on that daily fantasy a lot.
You're 2-8?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, that's your challenge then. Be better than Jerrod this weekend.
Yeah.
You can play for huge cash prizes all season long with the daily fantasy sports contest. You can do football, you can do basketball, you can do golf, you can do whatever.
The whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards. And new customers are getting a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposits.
Awesome.
All you got to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code YouBetcha, YOUBETCHA. Bet $1 on either team to score, and you're winning hundreds of dollars in free bets.
It's literally free money.
It is, assuming you hit it right, which obviously you will if you're betting on the right thing. Either team to score, that's all you need to do.
Simple.
If they score, you score. Again, that's promo code YouBetcha this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook, which is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and this podcast.
Hell yeah.
You must be 21 years or older to enter. New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. One per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook. That's DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Matt, are you going to introduce me as like your new best friend on this podcast or what?
I think you just did. Ladies and gentlemen. Friend of the podcast and best friend
new
to
best of the
Matt.
Friend. Yeah, new best friend of the podcast.
We got Jake here. Jake, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yay.
Hey, he did it.
We did it. We finally got him on.
Yeah.
Big sports head here.
Yeah, big sports guy.
Yeah.
We're saying that sarcastically, I think.
No, I would agree.
You enjoy the sports.
Yes, I do enjoy the sports.
The amount of testosterone in this studio right now is just flowing.
Yeah, it's through the roof right now.
Found the alpha male.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's right here.
Here he is. Take a good look. This is what peak male performance looks like.
You may not like it. You may not agree with it.
No.
But this is it. So before we get to your bet, I want to talk a bit about your fantasy team because your team is red hot right now.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Well, I did lose last week, which is tough.
But so did all the Top Guns.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You didn't lose any traction, at least in the playoff hunt.
That is true. Yes. The other two people that I'm up against lost as well. So it did not matter.
Nice.
Had a bunch of flops last week. You just hate to see it.
That happens to everybody.
Yep. Yeah.
It was a weird week kind of for everyone.
Yeah. I feel like this year in fantasy has had an unnatural amount of weird weekends.
Just in football in general.
Yeah.
It was like...
Yeah, I guess, in football in general, there's been a lot of weird weekends. I feel like, 2 weeks ago was also kind of a weird weekend as well.
That was a big underdog.
Yeah, big underdog weekend. And then there was I think week 4 was really weird too. Kind of around the time like the whole Raiders organization started falling apart.
The Raiders are the glue that's holding the NFL together.
Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
The ghost of Al Davis is just pulling all the strings in the NFL and he's just falling apart now.
Yeah. Matt, this morning you and I actually talked about since you brought up fantasy, let's dive into it for a second.
I want to.
We talked about key fantasy strategies and about how a lot of people draft really well, but they're way too scared. Once you get the initial rankings in, right? After the draft, it'll project where your team's going to be, right? A lot of people draft high and they get scared. They get too in love with the players that they draft. Yep. And they get a little bit of trade. I call it, I'm making this up on the spot right now.
He's thinking of something to call it.
Yeah, I'm thinking of something to call it right now. I call it trade paralysis.
There you go. Great way to pull that out somewhere.
We'll trademark that.
Yep. Mark that one down. Put that in your notes, Jerrod.
I'm writing it down.
Yep. They get what's called trade paralysis, where they don't want to get rid of their best players, right? And you've got to be able to read the room in terms of your fantasy league, figure out who needs what and how you could capitalize on it. Obviously, everybody knows this. Granted, This is
None of this is new
101.
information.
Yeah, this is new information for everybody out there.
Yeah, Jake before today, like, I got some great, I got some unbelievable advice.
The amount of points you score actually has a direct impact of how well your team does.
It's like I listen to Colin Coward right now.
Pretty much.
Here's the thing, man. There is absolutely nothing wrong with lowballing trades. I'm going to just come out and say that. There's absolutely
Try and win every trade you propose.
absolutely nothing.
Fuck over everybody.
Yeah.
Don't even care.
Okay, but anyways, back to the whole trade paralysis.
As we call it TP.
Yeah, we call it TP. Back to the whole TP situation here, trade paralysis. So for example, I had Kelsey, right? Drafted Kelsey.
Travis Kelce.
Yes.
Not Jason.
Kelsey Ballerini. Drafted Travis Kelsey pretty early on, and I was pretty stoked about him. And he had a great first 2 weeks, which anybody who is a fantasy player would go, holy shit, Travis Kelce's going to go off the rest of the year. Quickly, I was like, I need to get rid of Kelsey right now. Like, he was really hot. I think week 1 and 2, he had somewhere in the realm of like 22 to 25 points a piece.
Very good for a tight end too.
It was phenomenal for a tight end. Yeah, which is very, very good. Yeah. And I immediately traded Kelsey away for David Montgomery and for Jamar Chase. And this is before Jamar Chase started blowing up this year.
This is when he was kind of a bust still.
Yeah.
We're thinking.
First couple weeks, he was like pretty medium, you know? But I traded Kelsey away for David Montgomery and Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase ended up popping off for me this year, and I kept Jamar Chase. And I was like, you know what? I can get some solid trade bait with Jamar Chase, right? Well, then I ended up getting rid of Jamar Chase, and I had Jalen Hurts sitting on the bench because Josh Allen's my starting quarterback. So no skin off my back to get rid of Jalen Hurts. And I ended up turning just a Kelsey trade into Jamar Chase and David Montgomery, and I traded Jamar Chase and Hurts for Darren Waller and DJ Moore. So
Pretty
just
solid.
like that, I turned a number 1 tight end into a number 3 tight end and a top 10 wideout, you know?
Yeah.
And most people would be afraid to get rid of those types of players. And that's just like, I don't know.
Suffering from TP.
Yeah, suffering from TP. You just got to be willing to gamble, man. Like, I would consider getting rid of Josh Allen right now.
Would you?
Yeah. I know that's like wild. People are like, holy shit. Also, hold your horses. I'm not giving you Josh Allen. But because he's so hot right now, like, trade value is really high, obviously. It's like,
Big sell high guy.
yeah. Big sell high guy. Yeah.
I do remember early in the season, because we had talked about a couple of trades early in the season. I think we were in talks for like the Travis Kelce deal, because I'm the exact opposite. I do fall in love with the big names. And I think that ends up being my downfall a lot of the time. I'm always expecting trends to continue upwards. Like Travis Kelce was up high, so I was trying to get him from you. And thank goodness I didn't, because obviously it didn't work, even though my team has done nothing since then. But I think that I told you earlier today, like, that's what I respect about you. You're big about like just the overall value of the team, and you actually look at your team like a GM would. Like, it's a business, not a team. You don't fall in love with the guys in the locker room. You're like a Belichick. Kind of.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. I am the Bill Belichick of fantasy football.
There you go. There you go.
Now you're blushing.
Yeah, guys, stop. Guys, stop.
But did Bill Belichick trademark a phrase live on the spot? I guess do your job, he kind of did.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like, okay, so I agree with the fact that you can't get married. I also fall into the trap of getting married to middle of the road guys who are uber consistent. My example of that this year is Deontay Johnson. He's like a wideout 2
A lot
position.
of targets.
Yeah, a lot of targets though. A lot of targets. Good for about 15 to 18 points a game. Like, I think he's averaging like 17, right? He's a good wideout. Everyone would be stoked to have him on his team. But no one's ever going to put him in the top 10 wideouts in the league right now.
High floor, low ceiling.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Yes, exactly. I'm just not after those high floor, low ceiling guys. You just got to pick like really solid middle of the road
10 point per game type guys.
Like, yeah, maybe that's a little low, but I mean,
Not good enough for Jake.
yeah, not good enough for me. But those are the type of guys that you want to like absolutely fall in love with, because there is nothing worse than a week like the week that I had last week, where it's just like, you know, your first running back's going to get you 10 points. And it's like, all right, well, what's going on?
What's going on, guys? That's when you got to go on Twitter and say, I'm going to bench you.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah, you got to go tweet at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a big tweeting guy, Jerrod? You like to
I like to tweet. Yeah, tweet.
tell them that after they get injured, like, oh, thanks, you ruined my whole season with your injury there.
Right, I like to say, I'm benching you. You better start performing.
There you go.
Things like that.
Strike some fear in their hearts. Like, oh my God, this guy with an egg Twitter profile picture is
It always
threatening me.
works. Hasn't failed me.
There you go.
I haven't gotten a response yet, but I'm assuming assuming it works.
Well, that's just because they're too terrified.
Exactly.
They have tweet paralysis.
They have the other TP.
Yeah.
They have tweet paralysis.
They're afraid to reply to you because they know like your 80-something followers will see it.
You should have seen the hellfire Jerrod released upon CMC earlier this year.
All I tweet is release the Hounds. It always works. It's never failed me.
Shaking their boots. You have to have them take social media breaks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I could not imagine being an NFL player and have someone with 8 numbers in their name tweet at me.
Like, oh my God, I only have 2. I only have the number on my jersey. This guy's got 8 numbers.
This dude's got 8 numbers in his Twitter handle. He's going to fuck me up.
I hope he doesn't know where I am.
This fucking troll.
Well, yeah, so I'm rooting for you. I think I respect the hustle that your team's got. You've got a lot of wheeling and dealing. I think you and Ryan are like leading the league in terms of like transactions.
Yeah, I think me and Ryan are, which is weird because I think I've only made like 3 or 4 trades this year, but all of them have been pretty big. All of them have been
some splashes,
big trades.
It's like the Los Angeles Rams almost. Just so many compliments.
Well, guys, guys, you guys be so nice to me.
You guys are probably playing footsie underneath that table.
It's a long table.
Yeah, it's a long table.
Did you have a bet for me this weekend? You got 25 of my dollars. You get to place any bet on the book you want.
What do you got, Jake?
Guys, and let me just say it's a big weekend in football this weekend.
It is.
It is a big weekend.
We're entering put up or shut up time.
We are. But not for any. It's a big weekend, not because. Okay, so the one game I'm thinking about isn't really going to matter in the long run, but it is a rerun of one of the greatest moments in NFL history. Matt, I want you to put your money on the Patriots Falcons game.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to bring up the lines for it real quick?
Yeah,
so we can
I
hear?
actually
-7.
Yeah, but it's -7.
It's
Patriots.
-7 Patriots. Cool. Here's the thing. There's one thing that we know is for certain. 3 things: death, taxes, and that history repeats itself. Matt, this is a speech for the ages, by the way.
All right, I'm ready.
Death, taxes, and that history repeats itself.
It really rolls off the tongue.
No, guys, that's what, I had to repeat myself because
he's still making up a speech as he's going.
Yeah, I'm making up a speech as I'm going right now. As the history book gets written and as the pages turn,
as the pen hits the paper,
we know that the Patriots are going to beat the Falcons.
Yay.
Okay.
I agree. That's my lock of the week is Patriots -7.
Yeah, Matt, and I know that you had a tough week losing some money out in Madison this week, so I figured you could use a little free cheese.
That's exactly what I need.
Yeah, need a little free cheese. Jared's lock of the week is the Patriots beating the Falcons this weekend. I think you should also put your money on that because we know that history repeats itself, as I repeated myself for the 3rd time there.
Tom Brady's passing the torch to Mac Jones.
Yes, very much so.
Macaroni and Jones.
Macaroni and Jones. Also, I absolutely love the press conferences. I don't know if you guys have seen the comparison, but Mac Jones beginning of the season versus now. Beginning of the season, Mac Jones would not shut up during press conferences, and now he's acting like a true Patriot where he just won't say a thing.
His soul has been crushed successfully.
Would you say he's PR MVP this year? Public Relations MVP?
He is PR MVP. Yeah, he's only got one word to say.
Yeah, we're big Derek Carr.
Derek Carr press conference fans.
Actually, I think my number 1 right now is going to be Deion Sanders after his mid press conference call to Mike Zimmer this weekend.
That was good. Honorable mention for sure.
Honorable mention for PR MVP. Deion Sanders, not involved with the NFL anymore, but
until he takes the Vikings job.
Until he's the new head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. I was actually saying that to Jared this morning. I was like, all right, hot take. Since Mike Zimmer and Deion are 2 best friends, Zimmer steps down, becomes the D coordinator, and Deion Sanders, aka Coach Prime, comes up and becomes the new head coach of the Minnesota Vikings.
People say the Vikings struggle in prime time.
Oh my God.
What is the perfect cure for that than Deion Sanders?
Having Coach Prime.
They need a spark, Jared.
Sounds like a buddy comedy with them too.
Zimmer and Deion Sanders.
Yeah. Be a good combo. I'd watch that movie.
I 100% would.
I would probably rent it actually. I want to go see it.
Okay, Jared.
$2.99.
I mean, if it was on Netflix, I'd watch it.
Yeah. I'll go give it a shot.
While dinner's cooking in the background, something like that.
Clean your apartment.
Exactly. So I actually was leaning the Falcons this game, but I was telling Jared I was torn because the Falcons are one of those teams I refuse to bet on usually. I just think the Patriots stock is at an all-time high right now.
All time,
Not all time. For this season. Season.
All right.
That's fair. But at the same time, in this last 4 games, they've outscored their opponents 150-50.
It's a lot of donuts.
That is
a lot.
Yeah.
So I think you swayed me. Yeah. I mean, I'm going Patriots -7 this one. History's repeating itself. The pen's hitting the paper.
Yeah. The pages
midnight oil is burning.
Got the canary in the coal mine.
Whatever platitudes we can think of.
What other? I don't know, Jerrod. You work on it. I've been thinking this whole time. You give me some lines here.
We're buying time here, Jerrod.
We're gonna bite the bullet. And,
Oh, there you go.
That was a good one.
Get some salt on the Falcons' wounds.
Yeah.
we're in no man's land here.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's enough.
There we go. All right, so we're riding with the Patriots. We're riding on the Mac train.
Yeah, I think you got to ride the Mac train. Also, how electric would it be if it was 28-3?
Oh God.
The Falcons blew it again.
Falcons blow.
It's exactly like the same game.
You got to imagine if it turned into 28-3, everyone's live betting that. You got to imagine everyone's expecting Patriots to come back. Like we said earlier, the Falcons are just synonymous with 28-3. Like when anyone says Falcons now, they just immediately say 28-3.
Oh yeah, it's 28-3. It's like the Germany-Brazil soccer match. Like how like 7-0 was like the like that was a thing. Yeah.
That's right. World Cup.
Yeah, that was a deep dive by me there.
There you go.
Really, I can think on my feet like that. I can't come up with an inspiring speech on the spot. Jesus.
Your speech was pretty inspiring, I'd say.
What can I say?
Yeah, pen hits the paper.
There's no X's and O's reason whatsoever. Just completely based off of history, especially considering no one on either team besides like Matt Ryan
is on this team still.
Like, I got Belichick and Arthur Blank. That's about it.
Yeah, that's true. The owners are the same.
Yeah. Tomato.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt, I think that's your pick, dude.
All right.
I won't let you down.
All right, we're riding with the Patriots.
I'm nervous now that they're all picking the Patriots. Now it's
Why?
like when this happens, it doesn't happen.
Jerrod, when we were hot though, we were all on the same page.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. I might change my pick.
Quit thinking you're better than us, Jerrod.
I might change my pick because of that.
Jerrod, you're literally you're gonna fade us because we all agree on something.
I might be the martyr here though, and like you guys can win it. But
You fall on the sword for
I'll
us.
fall on the sword. Yeah.
Jared,
You're gonna be at the game, so
oh yeah,
you can pull some strings.
Yeah, maybe I'll throw a banana peel in the field. Somebody will slip.
Mario Kart or something.
Jared's gonna like bribe the organ player to start playing during kickoff and stuff like that.
Flash the 28-3 scoreboard on the jumbo.
Yeah,
There you go.
I like that idea.
just to start sabotaging the game a little bit. Oh, hey, maybe take a page of the Patriots playbook, take a little air out the balls.
Ooh. Film some sideline signals.
Hey, history repeats itself.
Airdrop them to the Falcons.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, everyone, hop on the Patriots bandwagon because Jared's gonna do some cheating for us.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
There you
We'll
go.
see if how many bananas I can bring in.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the rule is.
It's all fun and games till you get stopped by the security guard, Jared. You have to explain away 16 bananas in your pockets.
Sir, we need you to take the trench coat off. I really can't.
It's all fun and games till you and Joey show up to the game stacked on each other's shoulders, wearing a trench coat like two kids sneaking into an R-rated movie.
7'3".
I feel bad for the guy that's going to sit behind us if we do that.
That'll be rough.
You're just like stuffing bananas down your face like, hey man, you gotta help us out with some of these.
Is anyone here potassium deficient? I have the solution.
Yeah, it's +7. It's +7. You'll understand later.
Exactly. Well, Jake, thank you so much for coming on. Where can the people find you?
Go follow at You Betcha on Instagram.
There you go.
That's where you guys can find me.
That's a good.
Yeah, go follow at You Betcha on Instagram.
You're the skit master.
I'm
the skit master. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me at Midwest Giselle. But honestly, I don't post shit ever, so probably don't go follow me.
Good plug.
Well, yeah, great plug. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Good luck this weekend. And as always, remember, it's not a loss. It is a down payment on future success. Love the enthusiasm, Jerrod. See you guys.
Matt, that's got to be the worst tagline I've ever heard in my life.
We're 11 episodes and we're workshopping it.
All right. Hopefully when I'm back on in episode 22, it's a little better.
Yeah, we'll get there.
You'll be on every 11 episodes now.
Yeah.
It's just my shtick.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys.
See you guys.
All right.